us a little bit about you, man. I mean, how'd you end up meshing dentistry with rap? Like, where did it all start?
I think originally, so I was born and raised in India. I was born and raised in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, which is west of India.
Uh
And
huh.
until I was 10 years old, I was in India. But when I was 10, we moved to California. My mom's side of the family lives in America. So we moved to California. And at that time, it was pure hip hop. That's when I got introduced to like Missy Elliott, Nelly, and
Oh yeah,
Ludacris and all that stuff, you know?
yeah,
So fell in love with it right away. Started writing lyrics when I was like 12 years old, and like the first song I wrote about was Kobe Bryant, you know.
oh
And so
wow,
I was like 12 years old, man, and I was like the first person that I looked up to. Two first loves that I had was basketball and hip hop in America. Felt like an American kid in America, you know. It was
yeah,
always like a
yeah,
journey to like fit in, because like so many things were new to me, culture
yeah.
shock and everything. So I guess that's the first like time. And I even told myself, I remember writing lyrics and I was like, man, I'm gonna write these songs. I'm gonna call the radio stations, tell them to like request play my song, and like I'm gonna be famous and this and that. But
The
then life hits
vision, the
you.
dream.
Yeah, exactly. And
Oh,
then and then like as you get older, you know, I'm Indian, so like you get guided towards going to follow your educational goals
yeah,
first. Um, so I was told basically to go into the medical field. That would be good for me. So I agreed, and I said, you know what? I see a lot of people around me that have gone to school who have not gone to school, and what happens and stuff like that.
yeah,
So I decided myself. I was like, you know what? If I'm going to go into the medical field, I want to do what I want to do, which is be a dentist.
yeah.
And everybody in my family is a dentist already. My uncle's a dentist. My uncle's
Really?
brother's wife is a dentist. His two kids are dentists.
I was about
Everybody's
to
a
ask you
dentist.
why dentistry, but yeah, that lays it
Yeah,
out right there.
yeah. So I saw their lifestyle. You know, the way they were living, the time, the schedule, the offices that they worked at, the ownership that they had of their own work that they
Yeah,
did and stuff. So I felt like, you know what, dentistry is a good choice for me. So I decided to go to India for 5 years when I was 18 years old. So the first 10 years of my life I was in India, and then my formative like 10 to 18 years I was in America. I kind of became Americanized, and then right when I became Americanized, I chose to go back to India for 5 years. So those 5 years in India, I graduated as a dental student. Even then, I was like into music, and I was doing like dance performances. I was doing like fashion shows, all that stuff. I was involved with
mhm,
like the culture of entertainment. And after that, but you know, dental school is really, really tough. You gotta be busy, like doing work from all day, you know, so you don't get any other time to do.
the 5 years that you were in India,
Mhm.
those 5 years you were in school completely. Like that's like the programs here. I think in San Francisco there's a 3 year program, Pacific.
Yeah.
Um, the other are 4 years. So in India it's five
Mhm.
years.
Yeah, so the difference is I got to go to India right after high school. That's what we can't do here. You can't go to dental school right after high school.
Oh
So over there, you can go to
wow.
dental school right after high school. If you know what you want to do, you can just go straight to the specialty school. You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be great, man.
So it's 5 years. So it's 4 year program, and the fifth year is like internship basically.
Wow, that's great, man.
Yeah. So
That is
after
amazing.
those 5 years, I'm sorry.
I said that is amazing. That's so awesome to just go from high school to whatever you want. I mean, it makes total sense because honestly,
Mhm.
I've always, I mean, I like school to a certain degree. There's certain subjects that I like, but I just hated that you had to take all these other classes, and I'm sure a lot of people do, you know. But
Yeah.
that's great, man.
Yeah, and that's where you kind of slow down, right? It's like you know what you want to do, but then you have to take all these classes that you're like, man, I don't want to go to this class. And then if you fail
Yeah.
that class, it's like you can't get ahead and do other things. Your GPA gets affected and all that stuff. So
So
yeah.
when you were going to school in India, were you still writing lyrics or still like thinking about that stuff? I mean, I I see your videos on YouTube and dude, they're pretty dope. Like you got some pretty, good music there.
Thank you. You know, I was always in love with like hip hop and stuff, but to be honest, I never really thought that I could rap. I never really thought that I could actually get on a microphone and sound good and do it that well, you know? It was kind of soul searching for myself to figure that out. I just didn't believe that that could happen so much that I never tried it. So
Mm,
I always tried different things, meaning I was making music videos. So after 5 years of dental school, what happened was I came back to America, and now you have to apply for another 2 years of school here in US
yeah,
to get your license
yeah,
converted. So while I was doing that, Basically I started my own, that was when I first started doing like music videos and stuff like that, but not to my own songs. I started a brand basically called California's Very Own Motion, and I started making music videos of me dancing.
What was it called again?
uh, Motion, California's Very Own Motion.
Oh,
Now I just go by Motion after I did my own music. So
okay.
that was basically me doing music videos, like me expressing my love for hip hop or a particular song. Like for example, my first 3 songs that I did was Drake songs. You know, all I did was basically got like a crew to film me. I wrote the scripts out. I storyboarded. I directed. I danced. I did whatever you can. I went and bought props with my friends, and like we came up with these ideas, and we filmed them and made a music video out of it. The only thing that wasn't mine was the song.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
cool. Yeah.
because I didn't believe that I could do it. And then what happened was, then I got admission. Then I got admission in San Francisco, University of Pacific, and I remember telling myself before getting the admission, I was like, look, if I get admission, cool. I'm gonna let go of all these motion, music videos, all this stuff, and I'm just gonna focus on dentistry, and I'm gonna become a really good dentist, and I'll have a good career. But if I don't get admission, I'm gonna follow this like so hard, and I'm gonna become, whatever it is that I need to become. I still didn't think I could be a rapper, and then when I got the admission, it was so inspiring to just achieve that huge achievement, because it's really, really tough to get admission in the United States for an international dental student. It's like 20 seats for like 1,000 people that apply or something. So
Wow.
luckily we got admission, and it was so inspiring. I was like, man, I'm going to go harder to get what I would do. And then that's when I started like really thinking about what I want to do in life. And then I figured out within like the next 6 months that I want to start writing. And I started writing, and then I bought a microphone, and that's how it all happened.
Dude, that is awesome. So let me ask you a question. Do you have any patients that come into the office and like they know or seen your videos? Do they ever ask you to like spit at the moment right there? Like just
No, nobody asked me to sit at the moment, and I kind of don't do that anyways. I'm more like a writer. I like to write my things
got it.
down. I can't
Got it.
freestyle. I think
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have a friend who does that. Shout out to Abro. He's an Indian rapper just like me, super talented guy, and he anytime like you ask him to spit, he'll just like go crazy and spit out like fire
Wow.
bars. I could never do that, and I'm like so like I envy that. Like that's crazy. I can never do that, but I do have some patients that know me, like they're because so I'm a pediatric dentist, basically a
Oh,
general
okay.
dentist working for pediatric patients only. So I get little kids all the time, and if they come in with like headphones on or something, I'll always ask them what they're listening to like study the little generation of what they're growing up to.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then like I do have some patients who are like like the assistants cousins or like uncles and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
they bring their kids in and they've seen my Instagram and stuff like that, so they're like, oh, okay, I see you.
So do you have any thoughts on how you're gonna take this music, or were
Mhm.
you ever like mesh it with dentistry in a way that you um just start rapping about dentistry?
I don't think so. People have asked me about that. I think I take the rapping a little bit too seriously to start rapping about just dentistry.
Yeah.
I know there's the singing dentist and like all these other people who are like
Yeah,
dentists
yeah,
and they
yeah.
sing and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I'm really serious about my rapping. So if I want to become a rapper, I want to actually become like a rapper that's on the charts, that's like doing
Yeah,
tours,
yeah.
and like I'd like to even
Yeah.
transition my career of dentistry within the next 10 years into purely just doing music. You know,
Wow.
at least not be a clinical dentist. I'd rather be an owner dentist, a business person
Yeah.
behind the
Yeah.
scenes of the dental office or something. But I don't want to be clinically present more than 10 years. I feel right now, like I said, I miss work. I want to go back to work. I feel that way, so that's a good thing. But overall, the day I feel like not being there anymore, or the same thing goes for music. If I stop having fun with music, I need to stop it. That's the main journey that I learned in my last 30 years.
Well,
It's just like
it
do
really
what you need
sounds
to
like
do.
you have a passion there for
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
Wow. So what can we see from you within the next 5 years as far as music?
So coming up, so this was actually, as much as I miss going back to work, but this was my golden era. My wife just said, this is like AKB's golden era, huh? And I'm like, yeah, because like, man, imagine I started rapping like 2 years ago. like literally rapping like with the microphone and everything. And then I started releasing songs a year ago, and I'm working Monday through Friday, right? 9 to 5, 9 to 7, 9 to 6:30 or something. And then I work 30 minutes away, so I come home late, and then I spend time with my wife. And then some of the weekends I have to go to see my family in Los Angeles and stuff like that. So like whatever time that there's left, which is night times on a Friday and a Saturday night, that's how I've built this music career, just on that. Like all night, like 4 or 5 a.m. I'll stay up recording and writing and
Yeah,
listening to
yeah.
music and doing. So this quarantine was the best thing that could happen to me in that sense, to give me time. And I've been recording like crazy. I've wrote like 10 new songs. I've recorded them. I've finished them. I've been having meetings with my engineer. I have an album coming out on June 19th. That's the day I turned 30.
Awesome.
So I'm releasing my first album. And it's called Welcome to This Meeting, 21 songs on it.
21 songs?
Yeah. And the reason why it's 21 is because I kind of took this approach differently. I've never seen this done before, so I wouldn't be surprised if I'm the first one that did it this way. I released like the first 11 songs off my album already. All the songs that have been released already are going to be on my albums, because I feel like every single song is like a single that I make, and they mash together. So like the last 6 or 7 songs I've never released. So at the same time, I'm providing 6 or 7 new songs in one day to the fan. And at the same time, I'm providing the first 12 or 13 songs that I already released that older fans have heard, but the newer fans haven't.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
as a package, I'm bringing the whole thing as welcome to this meeting. This is my package. Yeah.
Dude, I can't wait. I'd love to pick that up and give it a listen.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I'm excited for you to hear it.
Yeah, that is awesome. Wow. So did you get some writing in today?
No, this is when I start. So, 7 p.m., that's what I was saying. It's pretty early for me. I actually prefer it late. I usually start since it's quarantine, my schedule is like 11 or 12 at night, and I'll start like recording, writing, listening to music, talking to
Yeah.
fans, or posting something up or releasing something new, you know?
So how do you deal with like spending all this time on your education, coming to the US, and then doing 2 years in UOP, and
Mhm.
then kind of figuring out that you're gonna eventually transition from that? I mean, how does that hit you as far as like time and sense of time? I mean, have
Yeah,
you?
it was an achievement that felt like it was done. I did it. I became a doctor. It wasn't a small thing for me to become a doctor. Now, like I even still tell my wife and the assistants and everybody that are my friends, it's just like I can't believe I take a drill in my hand and we're literally drilling teeth, and we're doing like successful treatment on little kids that are like 2 years old, 1.5 year old sometimes, and like I can't believe that I'm doing that. And it's such an inspiration for me. It's like, man, if I can do this, I can do anything. So I want to keep achieving more things in my life. And same thing happened with getting admission, passing like the national board dental exams, because this this style of working that I have right now came after me succeeding at dentistry. So
Hmm.
dentistry is like a big milestone that I had to get over and become successful at, to be able to do music, I feel. And that's what my ultimate message is as the Indian dentist rapper. People always ask me, like, why do you put the Indian in there? Why do you put the dentist in there? And I'm like, I didn't start off like that, but that became what people caught on to. And so I was
Yeah.
like, I got people messaging me saying, bro, I'm also in dental school, or I am a dentist and I've been a dentist for 8 years, but I don't
Yeah.
want to do this anymore and I want to follow my path. I have people texting me who are doctors or are in medical school or architects or engineers or pilots or anything that they don't really want to do, 100% passionate about, and they want to quit it and start rapping or dancing or acting or producing or this and that. And I'm like, you know what? If you like it enough to stay there for a while, graduate, finish school, or earn some money, become stable, and then follow your dreams after that. So that's the ultimate message behind why I say Indian dentist rapper.
Yeah. Now, with what you're telling me, I'm kind of picking up that, even in my culture, we
Mhm.
have pressures of like doing certain things and throughout life, the whole cultural cycle and expectations. Would you say that a part of you becoming a dentist was part of that, of what was expected of you? and then you kind of found and transition into what your passion is?
Yeah, say it was expected, and it was very well put into me as like advice and guidance from like my uncles, my parents, my brother. You know, everybody advised me to do this instead of like kind of forcefully do it. So at the end of the day, it was my decision because I did stay back after high school for one more year to figure it out, to kind of be like, you know what, I don't want to go to India for 5 years. I just turned 18. You know, it's like people wait to turn 18 in America and like go party after that, right? So
Yeah,
why leave the country and
yeah,
go to India for
that's
5 years?
true.
I don't know how it's going to be like,
They're like,
you
yeah,
know?
take a break
So,
and do nothing for a year or two. Yeah.
yeah, I actually took college classes. I took college classes, and then I started not going to those college classes. You know, I started ditching. I started watching movies. I started hanging out with friends, and got into a couple of things. And I was like, you know what? I should go to India for 5 years and become a dentist, man. It'd be dope if I go over to India for 5 years and come back as a dentist. That'd be awesome. And so that's how I decided. I was like, I should definitely go and do it. And I'm so proud that I did it, man. Because like I said, I would not be a rapper today. I would be talking to you today if I wasn't a dentist. You know, for
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I really
Dude, that's
appreciate it.
so
Yeah.
awesome to have that under your belt and then just kind of transition to your. I've never, I mean, no, you're the first I've met that, dentist, rapper, and you're from somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the opportunities are different,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
definitely.
I agree. I am the only and first Indian dentist rapper, I like to say. I hope there's more, not only Indian and dentist, but like, you know what I mean? Like Mexican and
Yeah, yeah,
architect, rapper or dancer or whatever. But that's the whole goal behind the scene, you know? And especially in India, a country like where it's so like, I mean, seriously, people die by suicide because of the pressure that they have from the educational system and
I've heard
from
about
their
that.
parents.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. So imagine like people are not getting to do what they want, and things are much better in the last like 10 years, I would say, but
mhm,
still happening. Still happening. People are committing suicide, or I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say committing, but dying by suicide because of the fact that people are gonna find out his grades are bad, or parents are gonna like kick him out of the house because he didn't pass this exam, or what is the society going to say about this kid? And so people have so much tremendous pressure to pass the educational system in India. And I feel like it takes the load off of a few people when they see people like me who are able to go to school, finish it, become stable, and then go and follow their dreams. And in
yeah,
fact, it's actually better to take that route because there's 1 in a million chance that you're going to become famous if you just stop going to school and you have no money to live and pay anything in your life. And you need money to promote your stuff. You need money to like make music videos and talk to engineers and make music and stuff like that,
yeah, yeah. Now, in the Mexican culture, and I didn't grow up in Mexico, but I know that for a fact. Oh my gosh, I just lost my thought. But I do have another question for you. Okay, so
Mhm.
um, you know who Gary Vee is? Gary Vaynerchuk.
I'm releasing a song called on my Gary V soon.
Okay, so like a lot of things that you're saying really sound like a lot of things that he says. I follow him
Yeah.
real close, and I like to say a lot of things that he says to other people because
Oh, that's
it
cool.
just makes sense. Like he's so uh, blunt and straightforward about children will ask him, my parents want me to do this or my parents want that, and he'll be like, fuck them, do what you want, so I'm
That's
like,
cool. That's the first time I heard
I,
anybody say that. Yeah.
I would be like, oh my gosh, like that's crazy. Why would you say that to a kid? You know what I mean? But the
Yeah.
more I listen to him, the more it makes sense. So everything you're saying just really makes a lot of sense to me, and I'm so excited to keep following you, man, and just see where you go. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. I love Gary Vee. The first person I made a song about, like, was Kobe Bryant. I wrote lyrics about that, but I would say I look up to a lot of rappers, a lot of people in my life, but Gary Vee is like one of the top people where I just had to write a song about all the things he taught me and the reason why I live my life the way I live my life. Um, so it was really cool. I'm excited for you to hear that song, and then yeah, man, that's cool.
Oh, you just came out with one song, right? It was you just released it. Which one was it?
Yesterday I released Anti-Diss.
Yes. Yeah.
Before that was Summertime.
I was listening to it and I only got like halfway through it and then we started our meeting. So I gotta finish
Oh,
listening to it.
Anti-Diss? Were you listening to Anti-Diss?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's half English, half Hindi.
Yeah, I was wondering. I couldn't tell. I mean, obviously, but yeah, I'll finish listening to it once we get this over with.
Yeah, there's like a huge like a diss scene brewing up in India right now. And it's like, you know how in the 90s Tupac and Biggie and all that stuff was going on, East Coast, West Coast rap
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
So exact same things happening right now in India.
Wow.
Huge rappers getting into diss fights, like diss battles and stuff like that. And but now luckily it's at the end of that era and people are starting to understand like we shouldn't be just doing like dissing each other.
Yeah,
Because what happens is like a lot of smaller rappers, like even like people like me, like all these rappers that I see who are not famous at all, they start dissing other rappers just to get them fame, you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
And it's like stop doing that, and that's just kind of spreading hate. And so my whole song is based on that message, and I use like a bunch of Indian rappers' names and famous quotes and phrases and like choruses that they've done before to make my song, which is like a creative way to like kind of put all my energy that I listen to, like all these rappers. I listen to, let's say, Drake and Meek Mill, right? Like, for example, I listen to both, and like, if they get into a fight, I feel pressured not to post a Meek Mill song or Drake song because the other is going to get offended or their other fan base is going to get offended,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So that's exactly what was going on. And I kind of smashed that beef by saying anti-diss. And like, I like both of you guys and I listen to both of you and nothing's going to
yeah,
stop me from listening to it.
yeah. That's cool, man. Um,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I think it's the drinking, dude. I keep forgetting my question.
By the way, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking bourbon with a little bit of Coke and some ice.
Mm,
Yeah, a little bit of
nice.
whiskey. Yep. Cheers,
Gin
brother.
and tonic.
Gin and tonic?
Yeah.
What you always drink?
Huh?
Is that what you always drink?
I like variety. I like to change things up. I'll have like a gin and tonic one day. I'll have like a Henny and Coke one day. I'll have scotch sometimes,
Oh,
and
you
then
hit the,
beer
you hit it right
sometimes.
on
Yeah.
the button there. Henny and Coke's my drink. But my brother had
Yeah. Henny and Coke.
brought this bottle over a few weeks back, so finishing it up.
Nice. Yeah, Henny's dope. Whew.
Yeah. Well, you know, is there something that you want to tell the viewers about you, or any type of message that you want to give out?
Um, so the reason why I do what I do, like I said, my brand is motion. The only thing I want to leave behind at the end of the day, and I talk about like death a lot in my songs, like going away. I talk about time. I talk about legacy. I would say my legacy is motion. Leave your like Kobe Bryant's legacy is Black Mamba, Mamba mentality. Go into the
Yeah.
gym, shoot as much as you can, practice, work as hard as you can, work harder than anybody else. One person that I looked at, Nipsey Hussle, marathon, right? Life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Just keep running, keep going no matter what. That's my thing too. My legacy I want to leave behind is motion, stay in motion. Don't ever stop. Um, one achievement only leads to the other. Don't ever get satisfied and settled into life and just put your feet up on the table and watch
Hey,
TV and do nothing all day, all night, you know?
okay.
Work hard because you can always take something a little bit more serious. Always. You can always take something more seriously. Like my music, this quarantine made me take it super, super seriously. And I'm like releasing an album. I'm setting up my websites, my logos, my brand name, and everything. So when I do go back to work, I have stuff set up. I have songs that I've already made that are going to release in 2021. I'm working on halfway through my second album is almost done. You know, so I like to release a song only when I have the next 5 done already.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's the motion that I'm in, and I just want to keep moving forward. That's it. So if you're in dental school, medical school, or doing something that you don't want right now, maybe just be grateful that you're in that situation, because one day you'll be able to lift yourself up out of that situation because of that situation. You know what I mean?
yeah. You know what? That's a great message, dude. And it's dope what you're doing for yourself. You know, I'll definitely let my viewers know. And can you let them know how to find you, how to reach you, how to see what kind of things you're doing?
Yeah. So all my music is available on all streaming platforms under the artist name AKB. That's my artist name. And then if you type in Indian Dentist Rapper anywhere online, Google, YouTube, you'll be able to find my channel. It's Indian Dentist Rapper. And please do subscribe, hit the bell, because I'm releasing a lot of stuff.
All right, man. Well, I think we're running out of time here because Zoom only allows me 40 minutes.
Okay.
So I'll see you
I
again,
was great
man.
talking to you,
Good
man. We
talking
got to
to
catch
you.
up. Maybe do
Keep in
another one of
touch.
these meetings. I got time, so let's
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah. All right, man. So awesome, dude. Hey, cheers. And you have a good
Cheers,
one.
man.
Have a good night. And I'll see you again.
Hey, thank you for your time, man.
Yeah, thank you too. All
Keep
right,
doing
man.
your thing.
Yeah.